Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. It is August the 13th today. We're looking at Psalm 103 and 104. Now, Psalm 103 is a messianic psalm where I've called it God's Love. It's a psalm of David. It's one of these psalms which we all love certain phrases, but which when we delve deeper into the psalm, we find that we come across things that are said which we would never say. And this is true for both psalms today, Psalm 103 and 104. But let's read it together and we'll see what the password is for today. It begins, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me, bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." Now, some people might ask, what is the soul? Well, the soul is the human life of David. It is the thing that makes him alive. It is his human life. If you remember, when God created Adam, there he was lying perfectly complete in the Garden of Eden, but he had no life in him. So although his body was perfect in every sense, his heart wasn't beating, his lungs were not full of oxygen, and he was not living. And it says of him that the Lord breathed into him and he became a living soul. So it's nothing to do with his faith, it's nothing to do with his covenant relationship with God. It's nothing like that. It's just the fact that he was a human being. And so he says, "Bless the Lord, O my soul." He's speaking to himself, you see, and he's saying to his physical life, he's saying, "Bless the Lord." Come on now, bless the Lord with all that's within me. Bless his holy name, and forget not all his benefits. And then he lists them. He says, "Who forgiveth all thine iniquity and healeth all thy diseases." You see, in the Old Covenant, David had this experience in which he often sinned, but the Lord always had forgiveness for him based upon animal sacrifices. And when David got sick, the Lord disciplined him in the body, but he always healed him of all his diseases. Notice, "Who redeemeth thy life from destruction." So the salvation that David experiences, and the salvation which he has and which he looks forward to, is the saving of his life from destruction. "Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagle. The Lord executeth righteousness and judgment for all that are oppressed." So you see, the Lord then is acting in the world, in the life of David, to bring righteousness and judgment upon men. Those that are oppressed will be saved from their oppressors. "He hath made known his ways unto Moses, his acts unto the children of Israel." Verse 8, "The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. He will not always chide, neither will he keep his anger for ever. He hath not dealt with us after our sins, nor rewarded us according to our iniquities." Now, when the Lord does not deal with Israel according to their sins, nor reward them according to their iniquities, that is the mercy of God. You see, there's a difference between mercy and grace. Grace is the unmerited blessing of God given to those that are undeserving. Mercy is the withholding of the judgments of God on those that do not deserve it. For as the heaven is high above the earth, so great is his mercy. Who for? for those that fear him. You see, the Lord in the old covenant is merciful. He withholds his judgments upon those that are afraid of him. Of course, this has nothing to do with the new covenant, because nothing to do with being a Christian, because being a Christian, there is no fear in love, for perfect love casteth out fear. Verse 12, as far as the east is from the west, so far hath he removed our transgressions from us. Like as a father pitieth his children, so the Lord pitieth them that fear him, for he knoweth our frame. He remembereth that we are dust. As for man, his days are as grass, as the flower of the field, so he flourisheth. For the wind passes over it, and it is gone, and the place thereof shall know it no more. Now notice verse 17 and 18. This is my password for today. He's talking about the mercy of the Lord. He says the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon those that believe in him. No. The mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children, to such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. Now let's just understand this. This isn't grace, and this isn't Christianity. You see, in Christianity, a Christian discovers that the grace of God is upon him because of what Christ has done. The grace of God is upon a Christian because of the righteousness of Christ, and because of the work of Christ that he has accomplished at the cross of Calvary. But in the old covenant, this is what David says. He says, his righteousness unto children's children, to them that keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. And so therefore the judgments of God are restrained against Israel and against all those that fear him and that keep the covenant and remember to do the commandments. Now that's quite a contrast. That's what separates the old covenant from the Christian. You see, in the old covenant, the mercy of God came upon those that feared God and that kept the covenant and remembered to keep the commandments. But the Christian discovers that it's not so much the mercy of God, it is the grace of God which comes upon those that love him and comes upon those who trust in him for salvation and walk in the Spirit. See, we're all totally different phraseology and totally different concepts. Let's read the rest of the psalm. The Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. Bless the Lord, ye his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Bless ye the Lord, all ye his hosts, ye ministers of his, that do his pleasure. Bless the Lord, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Now the next psalm, Psalm 104. It is a psalm that could have been written by Noah, because it describes the creation, and it describes the flood, and it describes what happened after the flood. Let's read it together. He says, bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honour and majesty, who coverest thyself with light as with a garment, who stretchest out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind, who maketh his angels ministers a flaming fire, who laid the foundations of the earth, that it should not be removed forever. Thou coverest it with the deep as with a garment. The waters stood above the mountains. At thy rebuke they fled, At the voice of thy thunder they hastened away. They go up by the mountains, they go down by the valleys unto the place which thou hast founded for them. Thou hast set a bound that they may not pass over, that they turn not again to cover the earth. And so we see a description here. He talks about the earth that's covered in water but standing upon water. See, that's the pre-flood circumstance where there's vast amounts of water below the earth and also vast amounts of water above the earth so that it covers the high mountains. And then the Lord speaks and the water goes down. But notice that the water's going up and down. It goes up by the mountains and down by the valleys. This is the sloshing around of the water in the world. And then the Lord sets a boundary for the waters of the earth so that they may not cover the earth again. But how will the Lord water the earth? He sendeth the springs into the valleys, which run among the hills. They give drink to every beast of the field. The wild asses quench their thirst. By them shall the fowls of the heaven have their habitation, that sing amongst the branches. He watereth the hills from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causes the grass to grow for the cattle, the herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth, and wine that maketh the heart of man, maketh glad the heart of man, and oil that maketh his face to shine, and bread which strengtheneth man's heart. The trees of the Lord are full of sap, the cedars of Lebanon which he hath planted, where the birds make their nests. As for the stork, the fir trees are her house. The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats, and rocks for the rabbits. He appointeth the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down. Thou makest darkness, and it is night, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth. The young lions roar after their prey, and seek their meat from God. The sun ariseth. They gather themselves together, and lay them down in their dens. Man goeth forth unto his work, and to his labour, until the evening. O Lord, how manifest are thy works! In wisdom hast thou made them all. The earth is full of thy riches. So is this great and wide sea, wherein all things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan, whom thou hast made to play therein. This is the great sea creature. This is the great dragon. He's the sea creature that's massive. He's a dinosaur, and he plays in the water that the Lord has made. These wait all upon thee, that thou mayest give them meat in due season, that thou givest them that they gather. Thou openest thy hand, they are filled with good. Thou hidest thy face, they are troubled. Thou takest away their breath, and they die, and return to the dust. Thou sendest forth thy spirit, they are created. Thou renewest the face of the earth. The glory of the Lord shall endure forever. The Lord shall rejoice in his works. He looketh upon the earth, and it trembleth. He toucheth the hills, and they smoke. And so we come to the end, and verse 33 to 35. Now these are just a few verses which they appear to be very wonderful for us to say, but they're not something which we do say. I will sing unto the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have being. My meditation of him shall be sweet. I will be glad in the Lord. Let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Bless thou the Lord, O my soul. Praise ye the Lord. Now that first bit sounds ever so sweet, doesn't it? I will sing unto the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have being. My meditation of him shall be sweet. I will be glad in the Lord. And every Christian finds a resonation in that, and we listen to those words and we say, yes, absolutely, praise the Lord. But we've got to read verse 35. And suddenly in verse 35 we're brought down to earth with a bump, and we suddenly realize, hang on a minute, this isn't something that I can say. It isn't something I can say. No Christian can say this. He says, let the sinners be consumed out of the earth, and let the wicked be no more. Now, no Christian ever prays that. No Christian ever prays that. So there we are. This is Psalm 103, 104. I wish you every blessing. Have a wonderful day, and look forward to catching up with you tomorrow, God willing. Bye for now.